everybody, welcome back, and today I've got a really exciting tutorial for you, and it's for this look right here featuring the Monarch palette from Kat Von D. This is actually in collaboration with my friend here on YouTube. Her name's Christina. You might know her as Fierce Glam Mom if you follow her on Instagram. She is amazing, and she came up with an awesome idea. She's like, look, I have the Monarch palette, you have the Chrysalis palette, let's do a collaboration where we do a warm tone look and a cool tone look. And I was like, sure, I'd love to do that. You guys know any excuse to play around. So she's coming up with the warm look, obviously, and I'm coming up with the cool tone look. But Christina is awesome. Definitely be sure to check out her look. But if you want to see how I got this look using the Monarch palette from Kat Von D, we'll see how it got on my face, then stick around and I'll see you after the tutorial. Alright everybody, I've already primed my eye with my Urban Decay Primer potion, so we're going to go ahead and jump right in. And I'm going to start off with the shade right here called Lucid. And I'm just going to take this on a flat Wet n Wild eyeshadow brush. I'm just going to start setting this all over the eye so we have a nice base to blend out our eyeshadows on. Once that's down, we're going to go into this kind of warm tone transition shade. It's very neutral, but it does lean slightly warm. And this is called Black, This is called Black Milk. I'm just going to take that on a BR250 brush, and I'm just going to start working this into the transition. This is quite a nice shade because it's pigmented, but it's not uber pigmented, so it makes it really nice and easy to blend up the transition to your desired depth. Now I'm going to go in with a BRC S09 brush, which is just a fluffy pencil brush, and I'm going to go into the shade Tournay, which is this deep dark plum shade. And I'm going to start stamping that in the outer corner and kind of working it into the crease. And again, you can build this up to your desired depth. You can make it softer, or you can build it up and make it more dramatic. It's totally up to you. Once I've kind of got it placed where I want, I'm going to go back in with that BR250, no more product on it, and just really work to blend it out. And if you find those windshield wiper motions are not working for you, make sure you're holding the brush towards the end of the handle and do little circular motions. I know if you're like I am and you have some texture on your eyelids, you can get some weird demarcations and lines towards the inner part of your crease, especially is where I find them a lot. And those little circular motions really help to evenly blend out the shadow. Now with that same brush, I'm going to go into with a little bit more of Tournay, and I'm just going to start building it up. We're not really creating a very severe cat eye, but we do want some depth and definition in the crease. I'm going to go back in with that just fluffy brush from Wet n Wild and just soften everything up. It doesn't have any more product on it. Peter, you're really hard to see through, you know that, right? Alright, now I'm going to take a flat eyeshadow brush. This is the BRC S52 brush. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick up a little bit of, what shade do I want to pick up? Melancholia, this shade right here, which is a beautiful, almost kind of olivey silver chrome color. It's really, really interesting. So I'm going to pick that up on the brush, and then I'm going to spray it down with some Make It Last setting spray from Milani, and I'm just going to go in and I'm going to start working this on the inner corner. I'm going to work this all over the lid. Well, let's say the outer or the inner 2/3 of the lid. Now, the reason why I wet my brush after I've already picked up the shadow is because sometimes when you do foil shadows, it can lead to hard pan. I'm just taking up some more of that Lucid shade just to reiterate the lightness in the inner corner. It can create hard pan, so I find that picking up the powder and then wetting the brush helps just with the longevity of the shadow. And then also once I lay that shadow down foiled, I like to go back over it with some more of the same shadow dry and just stamp it over the shadow that's foiled, and I get the absolute best color payoff that way. And that's just what I've found works for me. I'm going to pick up that BRC S09 and go in with a little bit more of that Tournay shade. And I'm going to start stamping that down over Melancholia, because we're going to start bringing this color in just a little bit. I'm just going to bring it on the very outer third of my eye. And then just to transition the shade, I'm going to go in with a little bit of Graphic Nature, which is a really interesting kind of chromy purple. It's almost got a pink duochromosity to it. Again, I'm going to just wet that brush down. I'm using that BRC S52 again, and I'm just, again, stamping that between Tournay and Melancholia. It's a very, very subtle difference, but it's one that really, I find, lends itself to making the transition a little bit less harsh. And again, I'm going to take that same brush and pick up some more of that Shadow Dry and just stamp it down. And if you find that you need to go back and adjust a little bit, take your time. It's all about building and blending. Guys, I do want to do a little bit of a wing today, so I'm going to use my Tarte's Clay Paint Liner. This is just in the shade Black, and I'm going to apply with my Delium Tools 760 brush. But use whatever method works best for you. And I'm probably going to speed through this because we all know I can't do this in frame. Sorry, guys. Guys, I did just drag the wing down here. That's kind of been my trick recently, is to make sure it lines up, the outer wing lines up with that lower lash line, and it just kind of extends, and that's how I find I can get it a little bit straight. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to finish up my other eye, put my foundation on, put my lashes on, and then we'll be right back to finish the rest of the look. Alright guys, I have my liner done, I put my lashes on, so let's work on the lower lash line. I did put some Coty Airspun underneath, just because these shadows are a little bit pigmented, and the last thing we want to do is our foundation. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the BRC S09 brush and pick up a little bit more of that Tournay shade, very, very lightly, almost like, exactly like we did with the Tease palette tutorial that I just did. And we're going to just take this right along the outer half of the lower lash line. Just like that. What is it, Peter Cat? And that's going to kind of blend in liner that we used as a guide on the lower lash line. Blend everything in and make it cohesive and pulled together. Yeah, nobody loves Peter, guys, at all. Nobody ever loves him. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a little bit of this, what shade was this again? Graphic Nature, that really pretty kind of purpley, chromy, duochrome. Yeah, on that same brush. And I'm just going to put that right on the inner portion of the lower lash line, just to kind of bring that color in. Again, just to add some cohesion to the look. Now again, guys, just if you have dark coloration towards the inner part of your eye like I do, just take up a little bit more of that Lucid shade on whatever brush you used originally and just kind of be very generous with it around here, because that's going to help really lighten up that inner corner. I know that's something that I definitely struggle with. You can even take it right underneath the brow. I'm going to take a little bit of that shade called Lunar Lights right on that same brush, just very conservatively, and I'm just going to put that right under the arch of the brow, just to bring it to life a little bit. So as you can see, we do have an overridingly cool toned look with a little bit of warmth thrown in there with that transition shade and a little bit in that plummy Tournay shade. There's some warmth in there. So we've got a more cool tone shade, look going on, but it's not gonna wash you out and make you look dead. All right, oh, I almost forgot the inner corner. What is wrong with me? Actually, no. We're gonna go back into Lunar Lights right there, just on a BRC S09 brush again. My camera's gonna focus, and we're just gonna really reiterate that inner corner. Guys, I don't know if y'all have noticed lately, but I have been in to the cool tones and into the purples. I don't know what's wrong with me. Nothing's wrong with me. I don't know what's changed to where I'm all about those cool tones lately, but we're rocking with it. It's fine. Okay, guys, I want to use some new products on the face that I've really kind of been enjoying. So first I'm going to go in with my new Glam Bronze bronzer for face and body from L'Oreal. So I'm just going to go in with this on my BRC S25 brush, and I'm not really contouring with this. I'm just going to run this along the edges of my face just to warm up my skin. I haven't really been into a whole lot of contouring lately, probably because the illusion is ruined when you can see all 15 of my chins underneath, you know, my chin, but that's okay. We're just going to bronze it up. Guys, I'm about to get on my Weight Watchers again. I'm about to kick back in high gear. I'm not going to let this medicine that I'm on defeat me. I'm going to get back in the gym. Do you see just how beautiful and subtle that is, and how it just slightly warms up the face, but it blends in so naturally? It's such a beautiful, beautiful bronzer. I really like this. They're a little expensive. They're about 13 bucks, but whatever. But yeah, I'm going to start doing my Weight Watchers vlogs. I've got so many things planned and things have just gotten in the way, and I'm playing catch up. I feel like I'm always playing catch up, guys. Do y'all feel like that? I'm going to take this new baked blush from Milani in Rosa Romantica on the same brush. This is such a beautiful blush. You could use this as a highlighter, but I think it looks so beautiful in combination with the L'Oreal bronzing powder, just as a very subtle glowy cheek color. This gives the most subtle pink glow to the cheek. I think this is going to be a go-to product for me. These two, this whole combination actually is probably going to be a go-to for me this summer, because it doesn't add a whole lot of color to the face, but these products in combination I found just add the most beautiful, subtle, gorgeous glow to the skin. And then I'm going to, for highlight today, I'm going to go in with my Milani Afterglow Strobe Light. There are 4 of these. This is the only one I picked up. I'm just picking this up on a e.l.f. small tapered brush. There are a couple of deeper ones and there are a couple of lighter ones. I almost got Day Glow, which is kind of more of a goldeny glow, but I have so many highlighters, guys. I wanted to try these, but I didn't want to I didn't need 2 new highlighters, but how pretty is that? I'm gonna just take that right on my Cupid's bow, tip of the nose. On the bridge of my nose. Just so super pretty. These 3, they're good. Guys, since we are going for an overall cool tone look today, I'm going to go in with my liquid lipstick from BH Cosmetics in the shade Muse. I love this lipstick. It's one of those beautiful kind of like baby, like pinky grays that just seems to work. Guys, and I did forget to do one thing, which is a trick that I love doing when I wear false lashes. And it's a trick I don't know where I learned this. I want to say it's either I watched it from doing drag videos, and I also know from Lisa Eldridge's channel, her Marilyn Monroe tutorial. This is a trick that Marilyn used. But I like to take a liner brush, and I'm just going to take the darkest shade in the palette called Hybrid Moments, which is a little bit of a deep navy. But I'm going to take a little bit of that on a Sephora angled brush, and I'm just going to tap it off to where I just have a tiny little bit. And then what I'm going to do is from the corner of my eye, I'm just going to create a little bit of a shadow. You want to do this very lightly, and you want to build it up. See how you just have the slightest shadow there? And it's going to give the, I know you can barely see it, but it's going to give the effect that your lashes are very heavy and very, you know, kind of that bedroom eye kind of effect. And because that is a blue, kind of more navy shade, I'm going to go in with this shade called Transition, which is a more gray shade, and just kind of gray it out just a little bit, just so it's barely there. And when you're looking, you don't really notice it, but when you're looking at your, you know, nobody's really going to notice it, but they're going to see kind of a shadow that I think it just adds a little something to these kind of looks, especially when you're wearing a nice pair of Demi Wispies. But guys, that is the tutorial. Guys, I'm like losing my mind. I almost forgot to do this. I went in just with a white pencil on the inner rim just to lighten everything up. This is the NYX Faux White in White Smoke. And then I am just going to throw on some mascara on my lower lashes with the Wet n Wild Mega Length. I don't know what I was doing. But I was done. All right, now I'm actually done. All right, everybody, so this is the finished look. Again, using the Monarch palette from Kat Von D. I hope you guys enjoyed this look, and maybe if you have this palette, you're looking at it a different way. And if you don't have this palette, you can recreate this look with whatever shadows you have. I'm just trying to teach you maybe a new color combination that you hadn't thought about, or maybe a different technique that you hadn't thought about. Or if you do have this palette, you know, like I said, you're looking at your palette in a new and different way and not just using it the same old way, because that just gets boring, and makeup should be fun, and you should feel free to experiment and try new things and see what works best for you. But guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this cool toned look featuring the Monarch palette. Please go check out Christina's channel. She is amazing. Her look is amazing. And if for all of you warm toned girls out there, girls and guys, you know, you're going to want to see that one anyway. But she is just a wonderful person. She's so supportive. She's so sweet. She's just one of those people that you just want to be around and support, because she's just a good human being. So we need more of those in the world. But definitely go check out her channel, check out her video. I will link it again below and in the end credits and probably up here again. And show her some support and love, because she is just phenomenal. But guys, as always, thank you so much for hanging out and talking about makeup with me. I hope you enjoyed this video. Have an amazing day. Have a rockin' week, and I will see you next time. Bye, guys.